Are you caught up in the hustle and bustle, feeling like there's never enough time in the day? You might be dealing with rushing women syndrome. Stick around and I'll share how we can break free from this cycle and find balance together. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I'm Gayu Lewis, a licensed menopause coach, an integrative nutrition health coach, and a naturopathic practitioner. My mission is to empower women to thrive through their menopause journey with holistic wellness strategies. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to hit the follow, like, and subscribe buttons to join our amazing community. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us: rushing women syndrome. Now, ever feel like you're constantly racing against the clock, juggling a million things at once, and just can't seem to catch a break? Well, you're not alone. We'll unpack this together. So, what exactly is rushing women's syndrome? This term was coined by Dr. Libby Weaver, a biochemist and a wellness expert, to describe the frantic pace at which many modern women live. Now, it's not an official diagnosis, but boy, does it resonate with many of us. So, what exactly is the quote from Dr. Libby Weaver? It says, "Rushing women's syndrome is the consequence of the never-ending to-do list, the relentless pressure to be everything to everyone, and that constant feeling of being behind." I don't know about you, but that sounds like my typical Tuesday. Now, this syndrome encapsulates the perpetual state of busyness and stress we're always in. We're always in a hurry. We feel like there is not enough time in the day. It's like being stuck in the never-ending race. Think about it. How often do you find yourself checking emails while eating breakfast or mentally planning your day while driving? This constant multitasking you might think is productive, but it's actually putting our bodies in a state of chronic stress. Some common symptoms of rushing women syndrome include anxiety, fatigue, irritability, and even hormonal imbalances. Now, it's like your body is in a perpetual fight or flight mode, pumping out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Now, let's get a bit sciencey for a moment. Now, when we are constantly stressed, our adrenal glands go into overdrive, producing excess cortisol. Now, over time, this can lead to adrenal fatigue, where our body cannot keep up with the demand for stress hormones. Now, this isn't just about feeling tired. It can affect your overall health, leading to issues like insomnia, weight gain, and even fertility problems. Now, a study that was published in the Journal of Women's Health found that chronic stress significantly impacts hormonal balance in women, contributing to a range of health issues, which includes metabolic disorders and mood disturbances. Pretty eye-opening, right? The hustle culture we live in glorifies being busy, but it's wreaking havoc on our physical health. And it's not just physical health, our mental well-being takes a hit too. Now, let's take a look at what are the causes and the contributors. We surely want to avoid them, right? First up, societal pressures and expectations. Now, the society often places a ton of expectations on women. Now, we are supposed to excel in our careers, keep a pristine home, be super moms, supportive partners, and somehow also find time to look after ourselves. It's like we're expected to be superheroes. But this superwoman expectation is not only unrealistic, it's exhausting. I want to say that again, it's exhausting. Everywhere we look, magazines, social media, TV, we are bombarded with images and messages of what the ideal women should be. Perfectly styled, incredibly successful, and always smiling. Now, this constant comparison can make us feel like we are never going to be enough, pushing us to do more and more and more. There was a research actually done by Dr. Sharon Hayes in her book, The Cultural Contradictions of Motherhood. And she highlights how societal expectations create conflicting demands on women, leading to stress and, most importantly, a sense of inadequacy. That's not good. It's no wonder, we are rushing around trying to meet these impossible standards. Now, I want to talk about the second cause, which is work-life balance challenges. Now, balancing a career and personal life is tough. Many of us wear multiple hats, We are employees, we are managers, we are mothers, we are a partner, and also friends. Now, each role comes with its own set of responsibilities. It's like juggling, but with flaming torches. And who's going to get burnt? It's us. Work demands often spill over into personal time. Now, how many of you, even I, actually have answered working emails late at night or even taken work calls during family dinners? Now, this blurring of boundaries makes it hard to switch off and actually truly relax. Now, a study by the American Psychological Association found that half of working women report of feeling overwhelmed by the responsibilities, leading to significant stress and burnout. And let's not forget the big G, which is guilt. When we are working, we feel guilty for not spending time with our families. When we're with our families, we feel guilty for not working. Now, it's like a never ending cycle of guilt and stress. Finally, I want to address the impact of technology and constant connectivity. Technology is a double-edged sword. That's what I would call it. On one hand, it makes our lives easier and more connected. On the other hand, it keeps us constantly plugged in and reachable. We are always on an always available mode, and that is exhausting. Think about it. I want you to think, when was the last time you went a whole day without checking your phone? I'm sure you can't even remember that day. Our smartphones, tablets, and laptops keep us connected to work and social obligations 24/7. This constant connectivity means we never really switch off, even when we're supposed to be relaxing. According to Dr. Sherry Turkle, who's the author of Alone Together, she says the constant use of digital devices leads to continuous partial attention, where we are never fully focused on one task, increasing stress and reducing the quality of our interactions. Continuous partial attention. I would say, what a perfect way to describe it. We're so busy keeping up with, notifications, emails, and social media. I call it mindless scrolling, that we rarely have a moment of peace. First up, let's talk about how societal pressures and expectations impact our well-being. When we constantly, strive to meet society's unrealistic standards, to be the perfect women who does it all, it takes a toll. Stress levels skyrocket, and our bodies bear the brunt of it. Now, I was speaking to Sarah, who's actually a member of our community, who shared how she felt like, she was drowning in expectations. She was always trying to excel at work, keep her home spotless, and be a present mom. Not the perfect, but a present mom. The result, constant stress, anxiety, and feeling like she was never good enough. Does it sound familiar? The pressure to do it all not only affects our mental health, but also our physical well-being. Dr. Emily Nagoski, in her book, Burnout, I think if you've not read the book, please read that. She discusses how societal expectations contribute to burnout, which is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. I want to now explore the impact of work-life balance challenges. Now, balancing a career and personal life is like walking a tightrope and without a safety net. Imagine that. Now, when work demands bleed into personal time, we lose precious moments for self-care and relaxation. We always tend to forget us. Now, studies have shown that chronic stress from work-life imbalance can lead to physical health issues such as high blood pressure, heart diseases, and a weakened immune function. Now, there was a report that was done by the American Psychological Association, and they found that prolonged stress from work-life imbalance significantly increases the risk of cardiovascular disease and other chronic illnesses among women. Alarming, right? And let's not forget the emotional toll. Guilt over neglecting family time or not giving 100% at work can lead to anxiety and depression. And also, I want to talk about how technology and constant connectivity affects our health. Now, technology has revolutionized our lives, but it's also turned us into 24/7 workers, Constant emails, notifications, and social media updates keep us plugged in, making it hard to disconnect and recharge. Research indicates that excessive screen time and digital overload contribute to poor sleep quality, eye strain, and even mental health issues like anxiety. And have you heard of this term called digital burnout? Read about it. It's pretty interesting. Now, according to Dr. Larry Rosen, who is the author of The Distracted Mind, our addiction to technology affects our ability to focus, leading to increased stress and reduced productivity. Constantly being on, the on button is always there. It not only affects our physical health, but also disrupts our mental well being, and it leaves us feeling completely drained and overwhelmed. Understanding these effects is crucial. Now, it's not just about managing stress, it's more about protecting our health and finding balance in a world that never stops. First up, stress management techniques. When life gets hectic, it's crucial to have tools to help us unwind. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can work wonders. Trust me, these techniques help us to stay present, reduce our stress levels, and it actually helps improve our overall well being. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath and let go of the day's stresses. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind. Dr. John Kabat, he's a pioneer in mindfulness-based stress reduction, emphasizes how mindfulness practices can cultivate resilience and also reduce the impact of stress on our bodies. I want to now talk about the importance of self-care and setting boundaries. I'm sure you've heard of this, but probably don't practice. Now, self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. Now, taking time to recharge and nurture yourself is the key to preventing burnout. For some, it's a bubble bath. For some, it's a walk in the nature, or simply saying no to extra commitments. Prioritize what makes you feel good and restores your energy. As Lala Delia says, self-care is how you take your power back. And it's high time we do that. Setting boundaries is equally important. Learn to say, it's an art to say no when your plate is actually full, and you shouldn't feel guilty about prioritizing your well-being. I want to now dive into tips for achieving a better work-life balance. Number one, start by setting realistic goals and priorities. I need you to identify what truly matters to you, both at work and in your personal life. Number two, use a planner or digital calendar to schedule dedicated time for work, family, and yourself. Make sure you put yourself in there as well. Now, this helps create a structure and prevents tasks from overwhelming you. A research from the Harvard Business Review shows that employees with better work-life balance report higher job satisfaction and lower levels of stress. That's nice, right? The key thing to remember is balance looks different for everyone. Find what works for you and stick to it. And lastly, you all know I'm all about food. I want to discuss the role of nutrition and exercise in managing stress. Eating a balanced diet rich in whole foods, fruits, and vegetables provides our body with the nutrients it needs to combat stress. Focus on foods that support mental clarity and stable energy levels, like lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats. Sugar is something that doesn't give you stable energy levels. So try to stick away from that. I love Dr. Mark Hyman. I'm sure everyone agrees. And according to him, what we eat directly impacts how we feel and how well our bodies can handle stress. Absolutely true and well said. So feel-good hormones. It improves our mood and also helps us sleep better. Find activities you enjoy, whether it's like yoga, dancing, or even hiking, and make them a regular part of your routine. Now, studies actually published in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry shows that regular exercise can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. By prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, finding balance, and most importantly, nourishing our bodies with good food and movement, we can take proactive steps to manage rushing women's syndrome and live a healthier, happier life. And now, I want to share a bit of my journey with you guys. Just like many of you, I found myself swept in the chaos of trying to do it all. Running my wellness community, creating content, coaching, managing my family. I've got 2 children, a husband, and I love cooking. But all of this, left me completely drained and disconnected from my own advice. Now, I had to take a hard look at my schedule and my priorities. It meant making tough decisions. Trust me. But I also learned to say yes and when to let go. I started, of course, incorporating mindfulness into my daily routine, and it's been a game changer for managing my stress and helping me stay in the present. Through mindfulness, which I found initially difficult to do, but I've learned to pause, breathe, and connect with what matters most. And that matter is me. Now, this practice helped me not just survive, but thrive amidst the pressures of life. And I'm sure you can easily do that yourself. Wow, what a journey we've been on today. Now, from understanding what rushing women syndrome is to diving deep into its causes, learning powerful personal stories, and learning effective strategies to manage and prevent it. Let's quickly recap the points we've covered. We started by defining rushing women syndrome and explored its origins. We saw how the relentless pace of modern life can overwhelm us, leading to this state of constant rush. We looked at societal pressures, work-life challenges, and the impact of technology. Now, these are the major contributors that push us into the rush and stress cycle. Finally, we discussed practical strategies for managing and preventing rushing women's syndrome, from stress management techniques to the importance of self-care, balanced living, and the roles of nutrition and exercise. It's important to take a moment and reflect on our own lives. Are there areas where you might feel like you're experiencing similar stress? Are you constantly rushing from one task to another, feeling like there's never enough time in the day? Are you often overwhelmed by your to-do list? Do you struggle to find time for self-care? Is your work-life balance off killer? Take a deep breath and really think about these questions. Identify the areas where stress is taking over. And the first step is to make a change. I truly believe that by sharing our experiences and supporting each other, we can all find a way to slow down, de-stress, and lead more fulfilling lives. So don't forget to share your thoughts and tips in the comments below. And of course, make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me and helps me build a stronger community together. Until next time, menopause, why pause? Let's play.